frying pan.
And into the fire. Run! Run!
Hello, and welcome to Out of the Frying Pan, a Middle-earth strategy battle game podcast on YouTube. So you may have noticed I am not Stu, I am Dan. I'm the other half of the audio podcast, my first debut on YouTube, so please be forgiving. I'm doing my best Father for Christmas impression at the moment because I do desperately need a haircut and a shave, but to timestamp this, we are still in the middle of the COVID situation, and it is Boxing Day and I'm recording this, so hairdressers aren't really an option. So why am I here today? I'm actually here to show you this. Unfortunately the wrong way around at the moment because I don't have all of Stu's fancy toys, but it is the SBG magazine, the latest issue. So what is SBG? SBG is a fanzine created by Damian and Tom of GBHL and YouTube Palantir channel fame, and also Damian is one half of the Battle Streams in Middle-earth YouTube channel, and they are doing the Fantasy Fellowship as well as the live streams every other 2 weeks. So what they've done is created a fanzine, sort of, as they put in their strapline, by the fans for the fans, catering to those who are enthusiastic and passionate about Middle-earth like I am. So what's involved? There's contributions from various different members of the community. This particular issue has Steve, who is the other half of the Battle Streams Middle-earth channel, as well as Top Table Gaming, who's talking about his favourite Middle-earth character. And then we also have Dan Entwistle, who has newly joined the Middle-earth team at 4Games Workshop, who's talking about his love for all things Oliphant, which is absolutely fantastic. What I'll do now is I will cut away and just give you a quick whistle-stop tour of the magazine without revealing too much in the way of spoilers, and then I'll come back at the end to tell you how you're able to get hold of it and just generally give you a bit of a roundup on anything Out of the Frying Pan related. So catch you in a sec. And so here we are, the right way around this time. SBG issue 10, The Return of the King. It's their 10th issue celebration, which is fantastic. Most fanzines don't make it this far, so it's really good to see these guys carrying on. As you can see, it's produced to a very high quality. The pictures are great, and the actual quality of the stock it's printed on is fantastic. Unfortunately, it is picking up a slight bit of glare from my lamp. I do apologise, but it is in that sort of glossy magazine format, and it's very nice. So without further ado, let's dive in. So here are the usual editorial and contents, as you find in most magazines. A really interesting editorial this time from Damian and Tom, obviously talking about how the course of the recent events the last 12 months have affected things. Has delayed this issue, but I think it's been worth the wait. And rather than run through the contents on this page, we'll just have a quick flick through the magazine, and I'll try and avoid anything which would constitute a spoiler, so bear with me. Here we have the SBG Towers and the Hobby blog, which is talking about everything that's going on with them and just general news, as well as their own personal hobby they've been doing while this particular issue has been put together. Well worth a look. Also interesting is Steve's beard here. He's far more closely cropped these days. I think he should grow his beard back. If you also agree with me, put it in the comments. So here we have Damian's article, The Doctor's Corner. You may have heard him on the latest episode 26, which was directly influenced from his Doctor's Corner of issue 1, which was talking about him coming out of the hobby closet and how his hobby has affected his social interactions and how he deals with people and how he's come out of that as he's grown older, which is really interesting, and that's why we had him back, and it's a really interesting conversation. Also talks back on basically the evolution of 10 issues worth of SBG, so it's well worth a look. It's well worth looking at these sort of side outs with people talking about their favourite bits of the last 10 issues. Made for really interesting reading. We have a painting masterclass from Kev on the Witch King, talking about how to paint him. A really interesting method of painting black, which I hadn't even thought of before, and it's actually really striking and something I will try later. And then Tom talks about the characters from Middle-earth, and if you look at how many sort of things they killed in the movies, it's sort of almost like the points you're getting back, comparing their points value in the game versus the points value of what they kill. The answer might surprise you. It's really interesting. It's also really interesting to see laid out how much they kill. In some cases, it's far more than you realise. I won't go into it too much. Obviously you can see here there's no hiding it, but if you look at the amount of models they kill, it's absolutely daft. But you can see the breakdown and how it comes about. Don't be spoiling anything too much. Then as we said, we had Dan Whistle talking about his love of Oliphants or Mumax. Quite an interesting article, especially now he's joined the Middle-earth team. It'll be interesting to see how good the Mumac gets now. And then we have Steve discussing his favourite Middle-earth character, Aragorn. Not just in the game, but his evolution as a book character and in the films. Really interesting read. Don't really agree with him, but still a really persuasive argument. And then we have the battle report to end all battle reports. A absolutely enormous game of Pelennor Fields with all the Mumacs in the world. Well worth reading just for this alone. The photography in this is absolutely fantastic. I won't go too far into it because I don't want to spoil the result, but I'll just give you a little brief look through. The amount of models on both sides is absolutely daft. I love it. Including that. All the big elephants. So that's as far as I'll go. I don't want to ruin any parts of the battle report for anyone who may come to pick this up, and I would sincerely advise that you do. So without further ado, I'll cut back to me, unfortunately, so I'll see you in a second. And so, thank you for bearing with me. So just to close this down, how can you get hold of SBG Magazine? You can contact Damian and Tom at sbgmagazine@gmail.com to organise getting hold of the issue or any of the previous issues. Issues 1 and 2 are available online for free. We'll include the links in the description below, as well as the email address for them. So if you want to get in contact with them, you can get hold of the entire back catalogue as well as this particular issue, issue 10. And I would definitely recommend doing so. I'm going to definitely pick up the back catalogue because I've very much enjoyed the ones I've read and also this one. So without further ado, you can find Damian along with Steve on the Battle Streams in Middle-earth YouTube channel. Damian is currently also doing the Fantasy Fellowship with Thomas Macklin. Well worth a look, so you can find that on there too. And you can also find the Palantir and all of the GBHL stuff on the GBHL YouTube channel, which will again link below. We'll include the email address for the SBG magazine in the notes. And other than that, please do listen to us on the Out of the Frying Pan podcast. You can find us on any good podcasting software or service. And you'll be able to find more videos that we eventually put out on here. We're going to do some painting guides, and as my kit improves, I might do a few more bits and pieces as well. So just say thank you very much for watching and for listening for those that do, and we'll catch you next time.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Run! Run!